Call it a clan, call it a network, call it a tribe, call it a family. Whatever you call it, whoever you are, you need one. Good morning. I love my family. When I think of my family, I think of my mother, my father, my brothers, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and all the holidays and backyard barbecues that we enjoyed together. Even to this day, I go home for the holidays and my kids get to play with their cousins and their second cousins. So family is dear to my heart. And in that quote, I really believe that, even if your family is not close, you have friends or you have pets. You have something that's close to you that you consider your family, that you love and they love you. And when I think of family with regards to food, I love the fact that I can prepare delicious meals for my family that they enjoy. I love seeing the smiles on their faces and the bellies full after I prepare a meal and they enjoyed it. I love the fact that we can all come together to break bread and fellowship over a meal. Whether I make it, my grandparents make it, my aunts make it, and we can just show each other how much we love each other and enjoy each other's company. So when it comes down in that kitchen and you're cooking and you're a little tired sometimes, just think of your family and how much enjoyment and love they would appreciate and show you for what you're doing for them. Hi, I'm Chef Troy Ellis and welcome to Morning Inspirations. When I was growing up, me, my dad, my brothers, we were avid fishermen. So we would go out all the time and when we would come back with a nice catch, we would divvy it up between family and friends. So today my inspiration is going to be making my dad's fish and grits. So we're going to make a white cornmeal fried catfish on a yellow corn grits with a nice spicy chipotle ketchup. So when we get back, we're going to get started. So welcome back. So to get started, we're going to do a couple things for, multiple components of the dish at the same time. So right now, on our stove top, we have some salted boiling water going on for our grits. I have a saute pan over there with a little olive oil in it. Because what I want to do right now is I want to chop half this onion up. We're going to saute in a little olive oil. That's going to be used for our chipotle ketchup. So I want to get that sauteed and out of the way, and then we'll get started with some other of our components. So now I'm going to add my onions to my saute pan. All right, there we go. As you can see, we have our water boiling, so we're going to get started on our grits in 1 second. All right, our onions are caramelizing, starting to get a little translucent. We have some salted boiling water here, so what we're going to do is add our grits to this. So we have a yellow, coarse, stone ground grit that we're going to use. There's 3 cups of water here, 1 cup of grits. And what we're going to do is just in a small stream to slowly whisk in our grits. Because what we want to do is we don't want any lumps, we don't want anything to stick together. So we just want to whisk it in nice and slow and just make sure we don't have any lumps. There we go. One thing about grits is we want to make sure that it's smooth, creamy, without any lumps. And what we want to do is bring this up to a boil. Right now we have 2 catfish fillets that we're going to cut in half to get 4 fillets. For breakfast, you don't necessarily need this big of a piece of fish, so I figure, with the grits, that half of this would work out. So yeah, perfect. And there we go. 4 pieces that we're gonna fry up nicely. So what I like to do is just season nicely with a little fresh salt and pepper. both sides. As I've said to a lot of colleagues and clients of mine, salt is the engine of flavor, so we definitely want to make sure our food is well salted. Give my kids a quick rinse. And just a little pepper. Flip back over. There we go. And one thing I do want to add to this that I don't have right now, it's a little smoked paprika. I love it. It's got a nice smoky flavor. You don't want a lot of it, just want a hint of it. And just on one side will do. Okay, our fish is now seasoned. So what we want to do now is we're gonna put it in a bowl, and then we're gonna get our breading station together. So a little egg wash, our white cornmeal, and then we'll get that all breaded up. And one thing I like to do with my fish is to bread it and then let it sit on parchment paper for a few minutes, just so that all the coating sticks to the fish, and when you fry it, nothing falls off. So when we get back, we'll be doing that. All right. So welcome back. So what I have here is just a simple breading station. So I have our fish, a simple egg wash with a little bit of milk and egg. And then I'm just gonna pour a little bit of our white cornmeal. And what I have here is a parchment lined sheet tray. So one trick I've learned is just use one hand for everything. So I'll take one hand in the egg wash, one hand, and I just, sometimes you can just shake the breading on the fish. And then you take your opposite hand, which is the non-moist hand, and then you take your fish and you lay it on your parchment. And then you have a beautiful piece of fish right there. Same thing. Hand that was in the egg wash, into the egg wash. And the reason why I'm doing this with blinding the fish on the parchment is because I said before, I want all the breading to stick to the fish, and I don't want it just to take it right from the breading and drop it into hot oil, because what happens is some of your breading falls off. So this ensures that all the breading stays on. There we go. There we have 4 beautiful pieces of catfish. So what I'm gonna do next is clean up here, and then what we're gonna do is gonna check on our grits, start our chipotle ketchup, and then we're gonna be frying fish. All right, so we're gonna check on our grits. It's looking good right now. It's pretty much almost done cooking. So we wanna add about a half a stick of butter. You'll find that I'm a chef that doesn't shy away from butter or cream. Makes your food taste better. It may not be the most healthiest thing, but hey, once in a while, everything in moderation, right? So add a half a stick of butter, let that incorporate. Add a little heavy cream. This is gonna make a nice creamy consistency to our grits and be a nice bed for our fish. Add a little fresh black pepper. There we go. Let's let these finish cooking. All right, next we're gonna get started on our ketchup, get our frying pan out, get the oil heated, and we're ready to fry some fish. All right, so now we're gonna go working on our chipotle ketchup. You know, when growing up, we used to eat, Tabasco or ketchup with our fish. So I thought maybe we'd do something a little bit more creative. Maybe use, a tomato-based type of, ketchup, or maybe add some chipotle, a nice smoky flavor to go with it. So we have our blender here, and what we're gonna do is add some peeled tomatoes. little bit of the juice. We have some chipotle chilies that were marinated in adobo, which is just a nice marinade. You want the adobo there. Our sauteed onions that we did earlier. Some minced garlic. A little bit of dark molasses. Just a touch of honey. And all these recipes and the measurements and all that will be found on crazygoodfoodtv.com. And then a little bit of cider vinegar, just to give it a little bit of that acid, that bite that I'm looking for. And then some fresh ground black pepper. And then we're going to give this a blend. Okay. Smells delicious. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get a spoon. We're going to give it a taste. So I got my spoon. I'm just going to give it a little taste just to see. Perfect. Get a little bit of sweetness, a little acid from the tomato and the vinegar, a smoky spiciness from the chipotle. Perfect. It's going to go very nice with our fish. So next move is going to clean up, take our fish to our frying pan, which we have some canola oil heating up. We'll get ready to fry our fish, and then when we're ready to go, put it all together. All right, so we have our canola oil on, is at the right temperature. We have our catfish fillets here. So we're gonna slowly put them in and start to fry them. You don't want to overcrowd your pan, so if you can get 4 in here, good. If you can't, don't overcrowd it. So our catfish is now frying. This dish is near and dear to my heart. This is the dish that my father used to make for me and my family. Like I said before, when we were fishing, and a few years ago he passed away. So anytime I get a chance to make a dish that, you know, brings back memories of my father, you know, I jump at it. I really get into it. I really want to do a great job with it. So, you know, I tell people all the time, when you're in the kitchen, be creative, find something that inspires you. Don't be afraid to take chances. So that's one thing that, you know, I as a chef love to do, which is mix and match combinations, change some classic dishes. Just do things that may be a little outside the box. But also I try to stay classic to certain things. So that's why today we're gonna do this classic fish and grits dish that my father used to make. So right now we're gonna check on our fish. It's frying nicely right now. The reason why I chose white cornmeal instead of yellow cornmeal is because we have yellow grits, and we just wanted just a little bit of contrast in color between on the plate. Our fish is frying nicely. So when we take it out, we're gonna put it on a paper towel, and you're gonna salt it. Like I said before, salt is the engine of flavor. Anytime you fry any kind of food, you should salt it right after it comes out of the hot oil. It just adds a little bit more flavor to it. Once we do that, we'll get our grits, put on our plate, our fish, our chipotle ketchup, and we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna tend to this fish. I'll see you guys when you get back. All right, so our fish is about done. So what I want to do is just take it out. Got a beautiful golden color to it. Nice. This is something my dad would be very proud of, and something I can't wait to dig my fork into. Like I said, the fish is out. Now we want to do just a pinch of salt on each one while it's still hot right out the grease. There you go. So what we're going to do now, let this rest for a couple seconds. We're going to get our grits and our ketchup, get our plate, and we'll put it all together. Okay, so we have all our components here to make this dish. So first we're gonna start putting a creamy yellow grits. So you're just gonna make a nice little bed for a fish. There we go. Maybe just a little more, I'm a little hungry today. All right. Then we'll take one of our pieces of fish. Top like such. And take a little bit of our ketchup and just put it around the side of the plate. And now what we'll do is, like I said before, we want a clean plate. Eat with your eyes first. And there you have it. So we got this plated up nicely. We have our yellow corn grits, our cornmeal crusted catfish, and our sweet, spicy, smoky chipotle ketchup. I can't wait to dig into this. So this recipe and all the recipes can be found on crazygoodfoodtv.com. I appreciate you guys joining me today. I'm Chef Troy Ellis, and this is Morning Inspirations. I hope I inspired you.